Okay, listen up. It's time to get serious. Beginners, or maybe a little bit intermediate, we could be talking to you. I'm at the Kingdom. There's some maintenance going on between the morning and the afternoon session. We thought we'd sit down to get serious for a moment and talk about fitting. When is the right time for you to take your golf game and put it in the fitting experience to calculate what you need to do and the best path you can take to get better? So you might be on the box set. You might have just dashed down to, shall we say, Costco and got yourself half a set of golf clubs. You might have been playing golf for a while. You might be tall, short, skinny, overweight, flexible, not flexible. We love all of you. But when do you get fit for your golf clubs? That body type is where I want to absolutely start. Brother-in-law of mine, set of golf clubs, needed to get them. He is colossal, the opposite end of the spectrum to me. The bloke is 6'4", 6'5", got a proper set of hands on him. I said to him out the gate, yes, you need to get fitted out the gate. I had him on this very tee, had him hitting a few balls, got him getting it in the air, no problem. But putting a standard length loft and lie, if there can be such a thing, in his paws was not helping his golf game. First thing he did when he got back to where he'd come in from, he went and got fit for a set of golf clubs. And it sent his trajectory of learning off and running in a great way. If you're in clubs that you can control the weight of. So my beginners, I want you maybe looking at lighter shafts as you develop the strike. As you start to then develop the strike, the shaft weight can go up. As you start to create how you deliver the club and you get some consistent, and it will be a sign for you, ball turf activity, not turf ball. Your club will be hitting the golf ball, then the turf, because it goes into the ground on a descending angle for the iron. Once you start doing that and you're seeing a nice divot come after where you strike the ball, you're looking to start to think about the fitting, because you're getting the compression and you're getting the power. If you're someone who is losing the compression and just floating the ball very high in the air, you need to start to grasp the correct technique. So if technique's coming early to you, you're controlling the apex of the flight. We talked about in the iron video, you're getting the right apex out for the club speed you put in. That means you're developing a nice technique. Get on the fitted golf clubs sooner. So here's the deal. Let's say we take two golfers, same build, same body type, same ability, same coach from day one, and they're going to put the same time in. Turn up, you get half an hour a week with your lesson, then you move on, you get 2 hours practice time, etc., etc. Same mobility. For me, if you gave golfer A consistent fitting and equipment that you would monitor over that development, because let's assume these two have got a bit of time and a bit of talent, and they're going to put it in, and they're going to plateau, peak, plateau, peak, plateau, keep improving. But the individual with the ability to change and get the right golf clubs for their game is not going to plateau and have to manipulate their swing for the clubs, because the clubs are going to fall in line for their swing. So you create something that has really no boundaries, and the clubs become something that do not stop your development as a player. I really think clubs can help you, but they can hinder you too. And if you end up with a set of golf clubs that will not help you get to where you're going, that means it's time to get fit. If you end up with a set of golf clubs that you think are giving you a certain pattern, it's time to get fit. If you feel like you are manipulating your own swing and lessons to avoid certain shots, it's time to get fit. We've covered on the channel grips. If you've got pain in your hands, if you've got large hands, small hands, if you can't get the grip onto the club correctly because it doesn't feel comfortable, a club fitting with a great club fitter will cover that earlier even than clubs. You can see it happening behind me right now. That is golf ball testing. That firing out that you can hear into the net, that's so important to you. We've covered it in videos before. We're going to revisit it over the coming months. Golf ball testing can make your game and your set of golf clubs absolutely optimal for you. So what I would look at then is, if you're starting to play the same golf ball round in, round out, or you're starting to recognize the difference in feel between a hard ball, a soft ball, a spinny number and a tall response, or the TP5X. If you can tell the difference, and it's not just you telling the difference at the kiosk when you buy them, then you're starting to get to a point where you're going to need clubs that can work for that golf ball. A club fitting as well is a journey. It's an additional thing that goes onto your golf game. So even though you are a beginner, even though I'm classing you as intermediate, if you're someone who's starting to strike ball turf, that's kind of intermediate. But if you're starting to get consistency in the flight and the windows, then you're going to want to start your fitting journey. And I suggest you look at your fitting once every year, once every 2 years. You don't have to buy every time you do it, but if there is a club you like the look of, be sure it adds into a squad of golf clubs. So for example, if you buy the irons and you buy the wedges and you get the nice putter, but you can't handle the drive of the fairway wood, the 5 wood, the 7 wood, you just can't go there yet, take those golf clubs to your next fitting and add to that squad so that they work in conjunction, in unity with the rest of your set. So really there's levels at which you need to go into. Now let's say you're out there, you are taller, you are shorter, you're not in the average range, whatever that is, and you can't get the ball in the air. There's actually static fitting that you can rely on that will look at some measurements of your body type, your wrist to floor, your height. Then it will look at how you hold the golf club. You want those fitters to give you some basics as to how you should stand to the golf club, but without even hitting a ball, you can get into a static fitting measurement. So really for me, and yes, you're listening to this, hearing it from a fitting point of view, but if you have no clue what you are, but you have an interest of playing, I absolutely think a static fitting should happen for you if you can't get the ball in the air. So I'm almost going as far to say, if you've never hit a ball, we can definitely look at what you've got. The ones I'd want real particular care on are the outliers in body type and the juniors and the ladies. Absolute key. If you're a lady golfer, young or old, but you get into clubs that are too heavy, it will set you in to some bad habits. Even today, the way I swing the club was dictated by the equipment that I used back in the day. If you look at some of the tour players who play the Open Championship, just gone there on the seniors, who are older than that, the way they swing the golf club, it changes generationally, and the setup you should have changes with it. We heard it in Tiger's video. That's why I love that video so much. Long irons today, he plays more upright than he's ever played them before, which is why your fitting journey doesn't start with this video and end. It's one that you have to keep building on. But beginners, today, this is where we got you, and you'll go through all sorts of iterations. You will start lightweight in shafts. You will start with upright lie angles, which means the lie angle, the toe is towards your nose. Because you're losing it to the right for a right-handed golfer, you'll start there, and as your journey develops, you'll go heavier in the golf shafts, flatter in the lie angles, perhaps bigger in the grips, heavier in the swing weights, the balance point. If you don't believe me on any of this, just dive into that library of videos, go to our man Q behind the video, look at how his golf clubs have changed. We even discussed this morning, we may revisit his own set because he's had a fantastic journey with club fitting, which today he would even endorse is giving him an advantage against any of the playing partners or opponents he has just because he has the right equipment. That is the perfect scenario. If I could take you all on his journey, I would, but the truth is it starts here. And I think wherever your game is, even no ball in the air, static fitting, a good place to start. So I've been diving a lot into the data recently, commercially, of players that get fit, the percentage of players that get fit, their understanding of products after they get fit. Do they, as we always coin on this channel, then look at their golf clubs as a squad of golf clubs? So they add in the speciality clubs, the 9 wood, the 7 wood, whatever that speciality might be for you, the individual. I'm all for that. But look at tour players. I think whenever you go out and you seek something, you always look at the best in the game. A tour player has a tour truck available to them every single week. Now look, we've got to be real. Maybe that's not something that's available to you geographically or on a level, or you can't afford to be getting your clubs checked every week. But at the end of the day, tour players are on top of those things week in, week out. They have a spec for the East Coast, a spec for the West Coast, a spec for the early part of the year, a spec for the end part of the year, wedge bouncers to help them through certain majors, new grooves coming in at certain times. Geez, Tiger told us for sure he knew exactly when he was regripping his clubs and why, even for the wear mark that he was getting in the thumb going into a certain major, that's when he liked them. And as he played other majors, he needed fresh grooves for certain turf versus other places he would go. If the best in the game are doing this, then you can't ignore it anymore. And the fact that you've even clicked this video shows that you're ready to take the step because you have an interest to know more about fitting and how it can elevate your golf game. I've been doing this my whole golfing career in the industry has been around this. I think it's coming into everyone's forefront of their mind right now in our buying habits. And I think places like this don't exist unless fitting is crucial. So here's the deal. Dive in the comments below. I always read them. I want to know what clubs you're playing, when you last changed them, and how your game was when you started. Now, the only barometer we really have for that, unless you got your data, is going to be a handicap. So what was your handicap when you started with those clubs, and where is it now? Then in those comments, something's going to stand out. There's going to be one of you out there that's using a set that used to belong to your granddad. You've become a great player with them, but let's talk about how much further we can get. I'd like to see it in the comments so I can interact with you guys, see what people are doing. Maybe it'll give me some inspiration for some future videos. Maybe we'll end up getting some of you lucky people on the channel at some point because you need a new set of sticks and I got to hook you up. But let's talk about this. Let's get the conversation rolling. I like getting involved in it, so do it. Beyond that, be sure to subscribe. These videos, I keep bringing them to you based on the fact that you subscribe and you love all of the content. We're putting these together. We've had sound bites from tour players. We've gone to different venues. The channel keeps pumping. I'm so appreciative of that because of you guys. Anything you want to see, always welcome it down in the comments. But be sure to hit subscribe. Stay engaged. We got some killer stuff coming. I can do anything you fancy as long as it's on the realm of golf. I feel pretty in a good spot to talk to you about it. So bang it in the comments.